everyone. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And when I moved back here to my hometown of Phoenix, Arizona, by gosh, I wanted a t-shirt to celebrate. So I went on the hunt and I found 26 designs. I want to introduce you to one of my old friends, Rachel Hudgens. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Jaime.
It's been a long time. I've been back 10 years, so that means we go back about a
Congratulations.
decade. And, well, thank you.
It's a milestone.
It is a milestone, and it's just so great to be home and have seen you grow so much as well, because we were just chatting about my first Phoenix t-shirt that I bought from you.
Thank you.
I had just moved from Oklahoma, and they always had their Sooners gear on. And I said, I need some Arizona gear. I need some Phoenix gear. And I went to Made Art Boutique on Roosevelt Row. And you think 10 years ago, it wasn't what it is now. And I found one of your t-shirts. It was a black tee with gold writing and said Phoenix on it. And I still wear it with love today. So it holds tight. Rachel, tell me how you got started handwriting and why celebrating Phoenix.
Thank you. So handwriting has always been something I've loved ever since I was a young girl. I can remember my dad salvaging a large chalkboard from work and hanging it up in my bedroom, maybe when I was about 5 years old. And I would doodle on the chalkboard, and the dust would fall on the shag carpet.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I just loved lettering. And I would letter on cakes and cards for my mom's friends. And it started there, and I'm still doing it today.
You're still doing it today. Yeah. And even as a little girl, you were employed to write some cards, to address cards. Tell me about that.
I was. Thank you. So my mom's friends from church, I can recall them hiring me, if you will, to address Christmas cards for maybe about, 25 cents per envelope. And I was all about it. Yeah. And I would also wrap gifts for them. So I've always been really creative, very much DIY centered, very resourceful. Repurposing things is something I've always loved to do ever since I was little as well.
Your items ooze love. I know it's a podcast, but I know people watch. I know you're watching as well. You brought so many things, and as I say that you ooze love, I see the word love. I see a heart. I see gold. I see angel. I see cherish. I mean, your words are powerful.
Yes.
And these words that you write are powerful. When you wear them, it's powerful. I was wearing a tank top you sent to me. It says super loved. Yes. And I was saying something about being shy. And I had just met a friend of a friend. And that friend said, "You're shy? You're wearing bold gold letters that says you're super loved." I'm like, you're right. I got to stand in that. Tell me about where you get your inspiration for the words that you choose.
Thank you. Well, you are super loved.
As are you.
Thank you. I love sharing love and life through lettering. Yeah. There's so many words that we can write, but I love to write words that are just full of life and that just lift me up, if you will, and lift others up. And something I have found is that the words that I write that are on my heart are also words that other people identify with. Yeah. And so, for example, the super loved, I made that design with one of my children in mind when he was kind of going through a difficult time. And I just remember thinking, oh, you're super loved and you're so special. And I want to share that. And I had found after sharing that so many other people just felt that way as well.
Yeah. You have t-shirts, you have hats, you have bags, you have sweatshirts. I'm always a big consumer of the onesies. Whenever someone has a baby, they get some onesies from me that say, I'm new. I love the I'm new shirt.
Yes.
The I'm new onesie or the Phoenix or the Arizona. If they don't live here anymore, I want to give them a little shout out from Arizona. So how do you take lettering that you loved doing with your chalkboard as a little girl into a full-time career in business?
Well, God has the perfect plan for us. And, hindsight is 20/20. But, going back a little bit, I am a mom of 4.
Yes.
And about 20 years ago, maybe not 20, 17 years ago, I was hired to do lettering and illustration work for Trader Joe's.
So what kind of role is that? There are jobs like that?
There actually are. So it's kind of something that maybe goes unnoticed, but it's what gives that your experience shopping at Trader Joe's, the experience you have from all the art.
I think people notice that.
Yeah.
Because when you go through Trader Joe's, you see the little, it's like a little blackboard, right?
Yes.
With the white writing that says tomatoes, and it's beautiful, and potatoes and whatnot. And so you were doing that work.
I did. So I did that for about maybe almost 10 years.
Wow.
And I'm so thankful for that job. I learned a lot about myself there. I learned a lot about art and lettering. And the company was really gracious and gave artists a lot of freedom, if you will, to express and just have fun, you know, illustrating while advertising for them.
Right.
And it was there that, you know, I just got so much experience lettering, and you kind of nailed down certain particular fonts, if you will.
Yeah.
Like your go-to fonts, like your fast fonts, because sometimes, you know, the job could be demanding, but a lot of fruit came out of that. And I made thousands and thousands of signs working there. And I never would have imagined then that God was preparing me for what was coming next.
And what was coming next,
And that was
Rachel?
26 Designs, which stands for the alphabet for 26 letters.
You had a story that you shared with me over the years. It had to do with you, I think the parking lot of the Trader Joe's, a dumpster, and it was a really, really, really bad day, and you're looking for, where am I going now?
Yes, that's right. You know, we all have moments.
Yes, we do.
And we all experience adversity. None of us are exempt from that.
Yeah.
And I did have a challenging time when, during, I believe, 2008, the crash, economic crash, and my husband and I had experienced, you know, just a big shift and losing many things, including our home. But I knew in my heart that God would restore. And so I was faithful, and just faithful in believing and trusting that, you know, someday that God would restore and maybe make up all differences, and that he did. So the day that you're speaking of that I had at Trader Joe's, I was painting behind the store in the dumpster area, and kind of the enclosed area, if you will. And there was a gust of wind, you know, in Arizona, right?
Where'd that come from?
And the gates blew shut, and I got locked inside.
The dumpster.
I was locked inside the enclosed dumpster area.
Oh my gosh, Rachel.
And it was one of those rough days, and I was like, okay. And I had happened to be on my knees spray painting.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, well, I think this is a good time for me to pray.
I'm already here.
That's right. And you know, God meets us right where we are.
Yeah.
And that he did. And so I poured my heart out, and, you know, which is, I don't know, it's so renewing to do that. It's so freeing. And, you know, I know that God heard my prayer, and he delivered me. So.
It's good to have old friends, because I remember that story from probably 10 years ago when you told it to me.
Wow.
And over the years, when I would have down moments, I'd reach out. Rachel is not unfamiliar with the text from Jaime. Hey, I just need a little prayer today. Or I need a little, you know, I try to find you if you were at, you know, junk in the trunk. I'd like to do a story on your business, but also I just need a hug. Just need a hug today. Yeah. So you've always been one of those places for me. So I imagine, you know, as you are restored, you continue to restore others around you. So just know that you give back in that way.
Thank you. When we give, we receive.
Yes. So I want to talk about kind of the business and how it's kind of bobbed and weaved over the years, because you've done many things. You've been brought into different, I just mentioned junk in the trunk. So we see you at the festivals and at the fairs. And we see your menus places as well. So whenever I see your Instagram, you're up to something new. So what are you up to right now?
Well, currently I'm preparing for holiday markets that are approaching.
You don't say.
It's around the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. I have some new things in the works. And I also have stationery that I'm having made with my designs, which I'm really excited about.
So this is a throwback to that little girl who is doing the addresses for mom and dad's friends' envelopes, right?
Yeah, it's like the next chapter.
Yeah. So what are we expecting with the stationery? Do you have any notepads for me? You know I love a good notepad.
I'm working on it. And I have always loved stationery and cards. It's kind of a thing. I think as women, it's something we love, like the texture of the paper, the fonts, the colors. the way it makes you feel. And so I feel like it kind of just makes sense that this would be the next thing.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I look forward to the stationery.
Thank you.
I have, and this was for me too. I always loved pen to paper. I always loved doodling and writing. I loved microphones and cameras. But I still will dream about being in a pen store and looking at all the different pens and playing with the different, is this on a felt tip? Is this a ballpoint?
Yes.
It's something, I don't know what it is about that pen to paper. And then watching you work is so much fun. Do you have certain pens that you love to work with?
I do. I have so many pens.
And all colors too. I've been to your house. I've seen it.
I love pens, and I always have. But the art of lettering is special. So I like to share this frequently with people, is that when you receive a letter in the mail and you look at the, your name that's handwritten, when you see the lettering and the script, usually if it's someone you feel something in your heart because handwriting is a reflection of what's in our heart written. So like if that makes sense, like all the things that we feel in our heart, when we write it and it comes out on paper, it's like the art of our heart, but lettered.
Yeah.
And so that's how I've always felt about it. So I love different handwriting. I love people's fonts and their own script, which I think is something that we're getting away from as we move forward with technology.
Yeah.
I mean, I can recall as a girl practicing handwriting in school.
Right.
I looked forward to it. It's art. And I'm not quite sure that's taught anymore. But I know that for myself personally, it was something I always looked forward to.
Yeah. During the pandemic, I bought myself some brush pens and a couple of those lettering. I don't know, what do you call them? Like the things that you trace. So you practice tracing lettering. So I would do that. I'd look at some of your stuff and try to copy just for fun. Oh, I know she dots her I's with a heart. That's very Rachel. But it is so much fun, just the brushwork. So how do you perfect your work?
I would say that it's probably years of practice. But something I've always loved to do was to incorporate, and this is before emojis, was putting little shapes and icons in place of letters.
Like Phoenix.
That's right.
With
so
a cactus.
Like this design here, we've got Phoenix with the heart for the O and the cactus is the I.
Yes.
That's something I've always loved to do. And so when emojis came out, I was so excited.
Yeah. You're like, I did this first. That was me.
Well, maybe in a simple way.
In Arizona, you do the shape of Arizona.
That's right. In fact, this design here was one of was the first T-shirt that I had made. And going back to that, it was when I moved to Phoenix that I wanted a T-shirt to represent this new city I was in. I was so excited to be here.
Because you're from the Bay Area, right?
I am from the Bay Area, born and bred for 30 years in the East Bay.
But we claim you now.
Thank you.
You've been here how long?
I have been here, 18 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, so we're almost to 30. Almost to 30 years. And then you made that first Phoenix T-shirt.
Yes.
What'd you do with that shirt?
So what happened was I wanted specifically a Phoenix T-shirt for a party that I was going to for the Super Bowl.
Oh.
When the Super Bowl came here, maybe I believe it was 10 years ago. I think maybe 2015.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
And I had shared, with my family, gosh, I can't find a cute fashion-forward Phoenix T-shirt in this city. And so it was actually my dad who said, you should just make your own with your own handwriting, like what you're doing at work. And
God bless Papa.
Yeah,
He
that's
had it there, right?
Words of wisdom.
Yes, Daddy always knows best. All right, so Dad says, make your own T-shirt, Rachel.
And I say, oh, that's such a great idea. So at that time, I know nothing about making T-shirts, having anything manufactured. So my first thought was, I'm just going to go to Target and I'm going to buy a blank T-shirt and I'll have this design put on this T-shirt. And so that I did. And at the time, Instagram was new. And I worked with a lot of younger people in the art department at Trader Joe's who had encouraged me, you got to get this new smartphone thing. It's going to change your life. And there's this new app called Instagram. You really got to get it.
Yes.
And I was like, are you sure? Like, is that for young people, So, I get all the things. And I had been sharing artwork that I had been making for Trader Joe's. And then I shared a picture of my new Phoenix t-shirt on my new Instagram page.
Ooh. And then what?
Yeah. And I hashtagged it, not knowing at the time what a hashtag
Could
did or what the possibilities were.
What was your hashtag?
I hashtagged it XLIX, Super Bowl, Phoenix, like all the things.
Oh.
And apparently I learned I wasn't the only one wanting a Phoenix t-shirt.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So it was super exciting. And somebody reached out from downtown and invited me to set up a display and to sell Phoenix t-shirts.
Oh my gosh.
At the Bud Light Super Bowl Festival nearby, the Bud Light Super Bowl Festival. And I thought, oh my gosh, I only made one.
Now what? What did I get myself into with this Instagram?
Right.
So what'd you do?
We were still kind of getting back on our feet, if you will, from that tough time because it just takes time.
Yeah.
But I had been making extra money from painting menus locally for several restaurants and painting windows for businesses. So I had some money set aside, right? Like for a rainy day.
Yes, you had squirreled away your menu and window money.
That's right.
And now what?
And that rainy day ended up becoming like a t-shirt money. So, and I, going back to like, that's God's provision, so it really means a lot. And that just, all those seeds were planted and that I had what I needed to take the next step.
Right.
So what I did was, and this is me being naive, I raided 5 Targets and I bought several blank Massimo t-shirts and I had Phoenix design printed on all the t-shirts and I made my own business cards with wine dividers from Trader Joe's.
Oh yes.
Because I didn't have any business cards.
Yeah. Nice resource.
I didn't have
you
a name
have those?
for a business at the time. I was really going by handwritten. PHX was my Instagram handle.
I remember that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old school.
Yes.
That's a throwback right there.
I remember you by that handle. Okay.
Right. So I ended up selling all the shirts at that event, and it was really exciting because I just felt a connection with the city.
Yeah.
And I'm a people person.
Yes.
I love people.
We know.
I love meeting people. I'm an extrovert. And so I just felt like, I don't know, embraced. And I just felt super loved.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where it started. And I had no idea what was to come from that experience.
And then?
So then,
and
So a local restaurant, like a buyer reached out to me and said, hey, what were those Phoenix t-shirts? We love those. Can we sell those at our shop?
Which one was it?
And it was LGO.
Oh, LGO.
Le Grand
Oh,
Orange.
come on. They have the best stuff in there. I would die if I saw them in my inbox wanting to put my product on their shelves.
My heart sank because I love LGO.
Yes.
I love the way I feel in there. It's such a happy place.
They have pens.
They have, stationery.
Stationery. Yes.
It's such a happy place.
Yes.
Like I always feel like everything's going to be okay when I go to LGO.
I agree.
It's the music, it's the food, it's the community, it's all of it.
It's the bikes.
And
it's
I
the
just
orange.
felt so blessed.
Yeah.
That
they
they
reached
would,
out.
Yeah. And so I was so excited and so thankful. And so that was the first place that I sold that I had the Phoenix t-shirts available retail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was in 2015.
And you can still find them there today.
Yes.
Wow.
I know. It means everything to me. I'm so thankful for that.
Oh, my goodness. So let's talk about, you're very punny.
Yes, I am.
How do you come up with these different phrases? Why don't you read off some of what you have? What is this
I
one?
have to be honest. I think a lot of it is from my mom.
Yeah.
My mom was real punny.
Yeah.
She always kind of reminds me of like Lucille Ball. She had personality plus.
Yeah.
And we all have a little bit of our parents in us. And so I give my mom credit for that. But then also I feel like it carried over to Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
10 years of writing puns and coming up with puns.
And veggie puns. And
now it's in the brain and I can't shut it off.
Oh, so I bet your kids love that. Like grumble, grumble.
They accuse me of telling dad jokes.
Yeah.
But, I say, hey, it's good clean fun, you guys.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. Well, yeah, that's probably right.
So you'll see that in some of my artwork, you know, but I've always loved things that are on the up, things that make you smile,
Yeah.
and everything real clean.
Right.
Yeah, that's me.
That's you. You have some original art that you
I
brought
do.
today.
So what I brought to share was original artwork. So I know that we are all so blessed with technology, but I'm a little old school,
Yeah.
and all of the illustrations I write or paint are with a paper and pen or with paint, not on a computer, prior to them being
Maybe digitized to prepare to go on
printed
a
or
t-shirt.
embroidered or made into ornaments. So I brought a couple originals because I thought it'd be kind of fun to see, like, this is the original and then here's the t-shirt.
See.
And so
So when you do you take that and scan that into the computer and then send it to the graphic or the
that's
t-shirt
right.
maker?
So it gets scanned and then they work their magic because people who work on the computer are artists themselves.
As well. For
And
sure.
I don't have that skill. It's something I admire. You know, I think we all have weaknesses, and I always admire strengths that I don't have.
Right.
And so I appreciate so much the art that graphic artists are able to modify and produce. And so I've been really blessed to work with people who are good at what they do,
Good.
like my printer, my embroiderer, and with that, it's like a win-win,
Right, of course.
you know. So
They probably feel the same way about you. They're
Because
super
they're-
excited to see your product come in. They're like, yes, Rachel stuff's here.
well, because they're good at what they do,
Yeah.
like I've been able to experience success.
Yeah.
So, you know, it means everything who we're partnered with,
You need a good team always.
always.
Along here, we have the ornaments, we have the T-shirts, we have the bags, we have the hats. I have the sweatshirts. I have lots of. If you ever see me out in the street, I'm likely wearing something of Rachel's because it's still part of my staple wardrobe that I wear out and about on my weekends.
Thank you.
You also have a couple painted rocks.
I do.
I know that you were on Maui when that wildfire broke out in Lahaina.
Yes.
You were vacationing with your husband, a rare opportunity for just the two of you.
Yeah, to slip away from, you know, life's, demands. So we were in Lahaina and flew in to Lahaina the day before the fire. And, you know, I'm very thankful to be sitting here today. I say that humbly. My eyes and heart were opened to many things from the experience of being there during that time. And I cherish the lessons and the things that God showed me while I was there. And I would say one of the things is how big the love was in Hawaii. That was my first time there as an adult. I'd been as a child, but not as an adult. And I just felt this immense love and generosity from the people of Maui. And when I say that, I don't just mean like monetarily. I mean, like they give of themselves, and we all have something different that we can give. And I was a blessed recipient from having been there, from meals that were made, hugs, people opening their hearts and sharing, you know, just their experiences. And I was kind of brought back to how much we need community because our lives have changed so much since 2020.
Yeah.
And regardless of how technology tends to move forward, we need each other. People need people. So I was really thankful for just my heart being filled, if you will, from that super love in Lahaina.
That they gave to you, a visitor on Maui during their time of crisis.
Yes.
And so how are you feeling this? I know that you take these things deeply and seriously and you use them in your life. So how does this change when you wake up in the morning?
I think it was divine, really, because I had recently taken some time off after losing my mom.
Yeah.
And just, it was kind of a rekindling, if you will, of getting back out there and opening back up and sharing what it is I have to share. I mean, this is what I can share, but we all have something to share. And so I really felt inspired just to, maybe take the step and go back out there and get involved in the community and share the love that God has given me to give.
Yeah. Well, you do a great job lifting people up, but I understand time to heal, Rachel. You give so much. Sometimes we all need a little bit of time to reconnect with ourselves and just take a little time out and heal from your mama passing. I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Seasons.
Yeah. And then, plug back in because the
Yes.
community needs you. And as I say, the community needs you. We can spread the love through your items.
Aw.
By stopping by and seeing you at these different festivals and fairs that are coming up, because we have a couple, and I'm always like, where's the map? Where's Rachel? Where's Handwritten Phoenix? 26 designs. Let's go find Rachel first. Let's see if she needs a beer or some a cold beverage, and then I'll continue to circulate through everybody else. So where's your first festival for the holidays?
So I have actually quite a few coming up. One of my favorites is Phoenix Flea, which is the Saturday following Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's Small Business Saturday?
That's Small Business Saturday in downtown Phoenix at Heritage Square Park. I love that festival because it's so well curated. I always want to shop the whole event, but I work the event.
Yes, you're working. We need you to be working.
But I'm friends with many of the vendors there, and I'm always so inspired, just by what everybody's making and by the love in that community.
It feels like there's a lot of collaboration between the local makers.
I would say.
Yeah. And when you're working those days, I mean, it's a long day. It's a hard day. There's a lot of setup. There's got to be camaraderie there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we all help each other. We share, snacks and drinks that we bring. And I always feel kind of a buzz, just from being down there, in it. You kind of get that natural high, if you will. And so it's always such a fun day. And it's always such great weather, too.
It is. Beautiful sunshine.
We're blessed like that here in Phoenix.
I think last time I was there, I went with a girl from work here. And we went to Blanco.
Oh, yes.
I came in and popped in and said hi to you, and when we had pizza, we had a slice of pizza.
It's torture working next
I know,
to
you're
Pizzeria
right there. You were
Bianco.
you're 4 boots down from the front door.
Oh man, but you know what? I love being set up in front of his restaurant, because I just love the backdrop.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful down there.
Chris Bianco. Yes, good
I
pizza
know,
there.
such a gem.
Okay, so then the Mercantile in Scottsdale and Phoenix, they have a location right down the street from us here on Missouri. They throw, is it called a Mary Market? I think a Mary Market.
I think it's the Mary Market Mercantile. Maybe.
She likes her M's.
That's a lot
Kimberly
of
over there.
M's.
Okay, so we're going to go there as well.
Okay.
And she does a great job curating a bunch of people too.
Yeah, this is my first time participating with the Mercantile, and I'm really excited about it. It's going to be in Scottsdale, and I'm working on new ornaments for the event because it's for holiday. I believe it's December 2nd.
Okay.
And I have hand-painted bags that I'll be making for holiday gift giving.
I love it.
That can be personalized. So people always love anything personalized and custom.
So how are you personalizing? Are you showing up at the different markets with this complete, and then you can add the names to it, or how do you personalize it there?
I'll have some already made, but then I can always add a name. So they come blank, like here's the back of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then I just kind of doodle it up.
Well, I have one, of course. You doodled one up for me.
Yeah.
So I have one with the Jaime
It's just really
name on it.
special.
Yeah.
And there are no two alike. And it's always fun to receive something that's, only you have.
Yeah. And that exudes love like you and your items do.
Yeah.
Rachel, are you having fun?
I am having fun. It's been such a journey. Backing up a little bit, I used to attend trade shows in Las Vegas. I was juried in to attend a trade show and sell as a vendor. And that really kind of opened my eyes to the possibilities.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have such a range of inventory. And I'm thankful to have the inventory I have because it's really hard to get things nowadays.
What do you mean?
Times have changed, just as far as just manufacturing and ordering, and it's just maybe a little bit harder. It takes a little bit more work to have all the things done. And so I feel blessed to have some of the things I have that I can take to these markets.
Yeah. I like to ask on this podcast about the jump for someone who might be wanting to get into a business like what you have. What would you tell them about maybe a surprising challenge or something that you wish you had done differently about the jump?
Initially it all started to happen so fast, and when you're in it, you're in it.
You're just going.
Yes, and I don't know. I just, I think looking back, we would all change things about what we've done. But at the same time, there's an authenticity about kind of learning as you go. And it was organic, if you will. And so I'm kind of working on that now, like editing and refining and looking, just looking back and seeing, okay, I'm thankful for all these experiences, but this is maybe what I'm going to do now. But times have changed too, and so I just feel like we kind of have to, be flexible and go with that flow.
Yeah, evolve. Continue to evolve.
I know change can be hard. I want to hold on sometimes, but I got to let go.
Yeah. Let go and let God. Isn't that one of your shirts? I feel like if it's not, it probably should be by now.
It's definitely something I live by. I mean, because I'm certainly not in control.
Yeah. What are you loving in Phoenix right now? What are you loving in Arizona? Are you reading something, eating something?
Well, my husband and my favorite hot spot currently, because it's so close to where we live, is Federal Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
On Central. We love going to Federal. The staff there is so kind, and you can sit outside, so that's fun. My daughter loves Lux. She's 17.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's a coffee shop, very fancy.
So,
hanging out at the coffee shop, probably doing her homework with her laptop.
She goes there to relax and chill out.
I love it.
And so, sometimes I'll hitch a ride and,
she'll let you hang out.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, I'm always amazed at the range of baked goods, the selection, and it's not easy to decide.
Yeah. Wait, well, you mentioned your 17-year-old daughter. It used to be your little daughter was helping you make these bracelets, which I don't see any of the bracelets.
I have some on.
Of course, you're wearing some.
Yeah, my bracelets.
So, I mean, she's got to love Taylor Swift because Swiftie loves these little bracelets too that Juju's been making forever.
Yes, Juliet has been making these letter bead bracelets since she was in 5th grade.
Oh my gosh,
and now she's a senior in high school. So that's been a labor of love. And I'm so thankful just for her to have had that experience to meet people in town and just to stay busy.
Yeah, and she'd work the markets with you. She'd be out there with you.
She's such a hard worker.
Yeah.
She was a lifeguard this summer
in
Phoenix.
She left Mama's business behind. Splash in
She's
the water.
moving on and
she's
up.
all grown up.
And that's a good thing.
Well, we wish.
And she's my baby.
Yeah.
I also have 3 older sons.
And where are they?
So I've got my oldest son who's an ASU grad, and he works in mental health downtown. My second son is an NAU grad.
Wow.
His major is biomed science, and he's an entrepreneur, just, living his life and living the dream. And then my third son is at ASU. He's a sophomore in engineering.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I know.
That is a success story as it is.
What a blessing.
Yes.
They didn't get any of those brains from me.
Oh, I don't know. I heard entrepreneur in there as
Maybe
well.
entrepreneur, but I'm just more the creative and the free spirit. They've got all their ducks in a row.
Yeah, well, they need a little bit of that too.
Balance.
Rachel Hudgens, 26 Designs. It is always a treat to see you. Thank you for doing my podcast with me.
Oh, how fun this is. Thank you for having me, Jamie.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy.
Jamie's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.